Yeah, hello guys, good evening guys, and welcome back to the Football Fan Zone with your boy Temba Banks. And I've got the regular suspect with me on the show, Mr. Tesh. Mr. Tesh, how are you doing today? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you? How are you?
I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm okay. And today
Good.
we are is the debate show because you guys know where we left up last on Wednesday. We left the argument on we left two topic. One was who is a better player between Fletcher and Declan Rice. And the other one was who is going to win the Balon d'Or. And we added a few topics to that we're supposed to discuss. Let me just check it, double check it now. Let me double check it to be sure.
I think we spoke about you added the who has better
Yeah,
squad.
okay. The La Liga, the best. Who would win between the best 11 of La Liga versus the best league and 11 of the Premiership, and who has a better squad between Chelsea and Liverpool. And we are also going to be talking about transfers, injuries update, and everything. Mr. Tesh, we have seen the fact that you guys, it seems what happened the last time season is about repeating itself this season. I was talking to Drex. I said something. I said, I hope Harry Maguire should not be praying for injuries, and we've seen injury to Lenny Euro, who is out for 3 months. We have seen Rasmus Højlund out for 6 weeks, and Marcus Rashford and Anthony are the two players added to the list. Though they've not really said how long, if it's a serious injury or not. But for me,
Mhm.
I don't think that Rashford injury was serious. So for now, I think now it is very, 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 very needed that Manchester United have to go and sign a centre back. Like what do you think? What do you have to say?
Honestly, like when we had the injury to when I mean we, I mean Manchester United, when we
Mhm.
had the injury to Euro, I was like, wow. Is this some? Honestly, I thought of one. I think, is this now spiritual? Is it spiritual now?
Honestly,
Is it
honestly.
spiritual? And like Republic, it's not too. It might not be too bad. Rasmus
Mhm.
left initially. Then
Mhm.
when I saw the news that he's out for is it 3 months and Rasmus 6 was like, wow, the season
It
has
took.
even started, right? You're already having long term injuries. Now we saw Rashford limped off, and we also saw Anthony off as well. So again, it's bringing back to again the issues of last season. Now, is everything coincidental? As in, I don't know. Like it's too much coincidence. It's
Honestly,
too much.
honestly. You know
It's
what?
too
When
much.
David De Gea made a statement, he said something. He said, "We have been cursed." I don't know if you remember when David De Gea said
I
that. He
did.
said, "We
Yeah.
have been
I
cursed,"
did. Yes.
because
Yes.
the injury crisis. I don't just understand how they just get injury. But on the case of Lenny Euro, I will
Mhm.
blame Eric Ten Hag because
Okay.
Ten Hag was very much aware that that guy, only had 50%. He had only 50% fitness, and yet you
Are you
still,
serious?
yeah, it was said that he had 50% this in fitness. Why he still risks the guy playing that match is something I don't really understand. I do not understand how a player has just 50%, yet you play him. I know it's a good thing whereby you sign a player, you want the fans to see that player, but sometimes you don't rush them into games. We saw Arsenal, the likes of they had like Calafiori that joined the team. Calafiori joined, and he didn't even play the match. Timber came back from injury. They didn't play the match because now they were trying to preserve them for the Premiership and everything. Sometimes all the kind of players, like you know very well that Lenny Euro was not really, really fit. At least maximum, you
I
should just
think
keep him on the
I
bench and bring him in like 15 minutes to go.
I think the introduction of Euro,
Lenny Euro.
yeah, is marketing. It's
Okay.
marketing, right? We've signed a player, let the fans see him. And if you're saying if it was 50% fit, right, then it's basically it's responsible, not for only Ten Hag, right? But the manager
Mhm.
above him, right, to allow that continue. You should be concerned, like with what it called. Because actually, to be honest, I didn't really expect him to play,
Mhm.
because he just came in, right. Probably a lot of what they called getting used to the team. Not so
Yeah.
it was even starting. So again, it might be again a new player, led the fans, made the player,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. True.
and if they were aware that he was not fit, and it's a poor decision on their end, because at the end, right, you're losing a player for 3 months. 3 months you can
Honestly,
actually
man.
drop him. You can drop points, and it puts pressure on you now to go get the lead, which in turn Bayern Munich knows you've lost a player,
Right now. Yeah.
and they can say, okay, you know what, we'll stand on what they called on our price. At the end, like you're basically losing more from an initial decision you made, which probably you could have easily avoided.
Honestly, and like now, I'm sure Bayern Munich. I know. I still believe that deal will get done, but
Mhm.
now Bayern Munich are in driving seat now because they can see now
Yes,
they are desperate for a
yes.
player. Because for me, I don't think Manchester United will be ready or willing to take Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez to face City for the
Mhm.
Community Shield. I don't think
Mhm.
so. So I think somewhere in somehow that deal will still get done. Just that, like you said, it's a very very poor decision from whosoever that they were you guys knew this guy was injured, and yes, you guys still played him anyway, and
because
that is
because
for me
even
is a terrible decision.
even to me, when I was looking at like how he got the injury, I couldn't even explain it. I was looking at the
Yeah,
play, like I looking at the play. How did the injury now? For an injury to be 3 months?
good month.
Wow.
Like when you look at what happened, it does not look like it was serious. Like
Yes.
Rasmus Højlund looked more serious than
Then he,
Euro.
yes, yes, yes,
So, but
yes.
how is man? Sometimes something has to be done. I don't know, man. You guys need to just
Honestly,
get it done.
honestly, I think, right. Like again, David De Gea mentioned a while back. He says he
Yeah,
believes we're cursed. Honestly, there was this rumor that Pogba very good in middle of
yeah. But yeah, he said it now.
in middle of Old
It's
Trafford.
crazy, man. It's
So
crazy. It's crazy.
I don't know if whether the club needs prayers now. Needs prayers now to at least help them what they call
Now, I want to
recover.
just chip in something now because we have seen Chelsea. Chelsea have banished Conor Gallagher from the first team squad.
Yes.
They've actually informed him that he will not be training with the first team when he returned from US. Now, I've seen people on online, fans, everybody has their own opinion. Even fans that are not Chelsea fan, they've
Mm.
also popped in their own opinion. The question I've been asking is this: if you guys believe he's good enough, you rate him high. You guys think Chelsea are making the wrong decision. Why don't you guys go and sign him?
Exactly.
Because
Yes.
it's quick for other fans. Because one thing is this now. One thing is this. If I'm being honest, I don't like the way they are handling this thing. But at the end of the day, it's what you call being ruthless. They are being ruthless. They did the same thing to Trevor Chalobah. Now it is Conor Gallagher. And in the case of Conor Gallagher, man, I don't blame Chelsea for this because they gave you a 2 years contract. They increase your money. I think to it was earning 100 and it was earning £50,000 initially. £50,000. That was earning. They increased the money to 160,000. Gave you 2 years contract and a additional year contract. You turn it down. Chelsea have already had offer from the likes of Aston Villa in the region of £60 million, which was going to be the club record fee they have ever signed any players. He
Mhm.
turned it down. Now you
Mm.
have Atletico Madrid coming for you. Chelsea have agreed a deal, yet you are yet to make a decision. Now I know for me, let me know what is your take on it before I even go. What's your
So
take
so
on it?
I think the player. I don't think the player actually knows what he wants.
Mhm.
A player basically doesn't know what he wants. Right? I think if Chelsea gave him a 2 year contract, right, and a plus one, right, with an increase in salary, right, I'm not sure
Yeah,
why he didn't take that. So if you're not taking the contract and you're not
yeah.
leaving, then what do you want? So
What do you want?
I think the players, it might be confused, and also probably
Mhm.
he might think he deserves more from Chelsea, because
Yeah,
probably Chelsea probably how they handed them long term contract to the likes of Enzo, to probably some
yeah.
other players. So he might think he deserves more. Right? You know that British
Mm,
player, which
entitlement and hype.
exactly exactly they feel a bit entitled. Now I don't think he'll want to go to what they call to Spain. British players barely go to Spain.
Yeah,
Like they barely
barely,
go to Spain. Yeah,
barely.
they barely go to Spain, right? And they only go if they have to. It's like almost like a last resort. But I can only probably know. I only know few: Michael Owen, David
David
Beckham.
Beckham, and I think Jubileum. Bellingham.
Yes, Jude.
Who else?
I know
McManaman as well.
McManaman because they play for Madrid. You know, Jude Bellingham
Yeah,
actually didn't go from England. He went from Bundesliga,
from
right?
Germany. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's like you barely see them go there. So I don't think it would want, because if he goes there, I can guarantee you he's living there. He'll probably become. Look at Trippier went there. I think
hmm
it was less than what they call it, 4 years or 3 years. It was
I,
it was
I
back.
I don't think he's go to 4 years. I don't think he got to 3 years even.
Yes, yeah,
I
it was
think it was
back.
around a year plus.
So
I
I
think
don't
it's
think
around
it
a year
it
plus.
would want to go. But for me though, I'm not sure what he wants. It doesn't make sense. You're not accepting the contract and you're not leaving. But the club, I think the club is they're in their right to say, okay, you know what? Since you're not sure, then let's leave you out from the first team squad. Once you make up your mind,
Mhm.
you tell us what you want to do.
Because let me just see what people are saying here. Um, this is what Undado says. He says, actually, I hate this ownership. How do you treat two of our best players and best performers last season like this? And they are also academic players. Absolutely disgraceful. Now, the question I want to ask you now, do you think the fact that Trevor Chaloba and
Mhm.
what's his name, Conor Gallagher, the fact that they are from the academy, whereby if they sell both of them, it is full profit. Do you
Yes.
think it can be a possibility that that also added to them wanting to get rid of him, not just because it's not good enough, but also because of that the fact that whatever money they get for him from them goes straight is the maximum profit. Do you think that could add to it?
Yeah, honestly, again, it could add. It could probably be a driving force. But I think if Chelsea wants to get maximum profit or maximum what they
Mhm,
call money for those two players, they could have handled the situation a bit better. Where probably you know what you
mhm.
what they call kind of you you don't make it obvious that you want the player to leave, right?
Yeah,
I, th-
true, true.
I think with that, they're probably getting a lot of what they call the manager situation better. Again, it could also be they've tried that, and the players they don't want to leave. Like
Mhm.
look at for example at United. What's his name? Look at the likes of
Harry
Maguire.
Maguire,
They will not
Scott
leave
McTominay.
because Maguire gets paid huge amount of money. He won't leave now. In place of
Yeah.
what they call Gallagher and Chalobah, those guys, I don't think they earn a lot, right? So the club can say, okay, you know what, do what you like, right? Go to reserve,
Mhm.
right? But I think right, they could have handled it better, or they might have tried, and the player again is not. They don't want to leave, and hence they are using this
This
approach. But
means,
to answer your question, I believe that could also be a driving force right in there, what they call in their decision, because they bought so many players, though, bro. They bought so
yeah,
many
true, true,
players,
true, true.
and again, if they
And,
can probably get some money back, yeah, that
yeah.
helps.
Now, people like as fans, like other fans, whereby you'll be shouting, "It's not good enough. Get rid of him. It's not good enough. Get rid of him." Like I see fans saying it, "It's not good enough. Get rid of him. Get rid of him."
Yes.
They have to be ruthless, just like Manchester United right now. This same thing Chelsea are doing should be something Manchester United should be doing with the likes of Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay. Like they've already told you, the manager does not see you as one of his plan. Even though you're going to
Yes.
stay, you are only going to be a squad player because you
Mhm.
don't fit his style of play. And I believe if you go to Atletico Madrid, it fits what Diego Simeone is all about. It fits in easily. Even as Villa, it fits in easily. I know Chelsea, for me, they don't just make money, put it in the bank to balance the book and whatever on the
Mhm.
PSR, everything. But now I'm confused. Fans will tell you, we have to be ruthless. We have to be ruthless. Now you're having a club that is being ruthless. Then you have people also stealing money, crying. I think fans also don't know what they want.
Yes,
Yeah,
because you know what,
it was, yeah, go on.
the fan base, they're actually divided, right? It has moved from initially, right? It was like your club, like the club you're going for. Now it's more of
Yeah.
player FC, right? So you have that's why you see so much division right within club, and you see it's prominent right in those big clubs like United, because we follow certain. No matter if the player does bad, right?
Mhm.
No, for this,
Yeah.
the player can never do bad now. So I think that's what's driving what they call this, right? That's why it's what's splitting fans. It's not like they don't know what they want. It's more so they've lost focus on actually who they support. They've lost focus of the club they support. They are now supporting what they call
The players.
players. Yeah,
And even the
and
fan base is also divided into two, because they'll tell
yes,
you there is there is a match going fans and there's online
it's online
fans.
fans. It's like everything trying to create a classification, right, and a hierarchy, right, in the fan base. I'm better than you or whatnot, right? That's what they're doing. Which to me, at the end, you're all fans, and one way or the other, right? If
Mhm.
you basically support a team, right, you probably one way or other you add to what I call the benefit. For example, like again, I have the MUTV
Mhm.
subscription. Somehow I'm what I call I'm adding to what I call the team. So somehow you're adding, right. So I'm not in England. If I visit England, I'll certainly go to what I call Old Trafford, right. But again, the
Yeah.
fan base, that's that class, and even take it for example, Sancho as an example. While I understand Ten Hag could have handled the issue a bit what they call it, in a very
Better.
intelligent, better,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But he's the manager. He can say what he likes, right? But not
Mhm.
because he didn't really say anything too bad. You could see even at that, Sancho sat at home for months. Some fans
Yeah.
still back him.
Yeah.
I
No,
am
I backed
I
him
am
as well.
are you serious? I am a Sancho
Yeah,
fan. I'm a
I
Sancho
backed him.
fan.
You know why I backed him is this.
Why?
You know,
Why? Okay.
the reason why I backed Sancho was this. You get people talking about if it was under Sir Alex Ferguson, Sancho would never play for Man U anymore. And I tell people, I say, no. If it was under Sir Alex Ferguson will never say what he said at the press
Yes,
there.
I
He will
agree.
never
I
say
agree.
it.
I agree. I agree.
I say sometimes we need to understand that football of nowadays are different from before. Everybody now, social media is the thing, they appreciate social media. If it was before, a player will believe that, okay, now I will prove you wrong on the pitch.
Mhm.
But now we don't get that anymore. The reason why I backed Sancho was this. One, Sancho did not play the game. He was
Yes.
not on the first 11. He was not on the bench. You lost the match against Arsenal 3-1,
Mhm.
and a journalist comes out and start asking you about Sancho.
Yeah.
I've seen the likes of Klopp, the likes of Pep. So they don't answer questions. They'll tell you no comment. They will not answer it. Then you came outside and threw the player under the bus, saying he's not training well, he's not fit, he's lazy, he's like no. And you have a player by he knows deep down according to him, he believes he's training hard enough. He believes he's doing the best he can. Then watching the manager throw him under the bus there, then he also goes out and say no, he has been scapegoated. And it's the
Okay.
honest truth
So
because coming to the season,
mhm.
he was playing Sancho as a false nine, and
Yes.
Sancho
Yes.
was actually doing well there. And
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
maybe he wants to do something. He's going to play him at first nine. The
Yeah.
first match of the season, boom, he dropped him
Bench.
on the bench.
Yes.
So that's the thing. So there's nothing bad at. We know every player always have their favorite. Go on, go on.
Let me say this though. But you and I, right? For example, if today I play for United, a
Hmm.
manager says something wrong about me, right? And again, there are players in history that this has happened to. David Beckham, Wayne Rooney,
Hmm.
happened to, right?
Even Van Nistelrooy
As
as well.
yes, so it was right. As a what they call
Hmm.
player, what they do, they don't like while they have a fracture with the manager, they put the team first.
Yeah,
The
true.
team, the team comes first. If
Yeah,
it's for me to go apologize to you and say, okay, sorry, sir, let me
even
be
at
able to what they
minutes.
called, let me be able to what they called support the team, and at least
Mhm.
I'm being paid to do a job. I'm a professional. My ego shouldn't come first. There are people that actually pay. That actually, if we look at it, people pay to come see you, add end money, and that money
Mhm.
somehow trickles down to you. So take pride out of it, right? Ego. Okay, Tenago, I'm sorry. I'll do my best. And even if you want to leave, it's fine. I'll do my best.
Yeah, true.
You continue and make yourself available, not sit down at home, right? And basically you left your post for days. So as for
Yeah, for
me,
three
I
to
like
four months.
I'm a Sancho fan, but with that, right,
Mm-hmm.
like you know what? Why you know Tenago was wrong, but as
Mm-hmm.
your own person, right, is the way you could probably handle it differently. As in, two mistakes don't make it right,
Yeah.
right?
And that
So
that was why Tenag learned, because when he came to the part of what's his name of Rashford,
mhm,
he handled it very very differently, and that
yeah,
was I gave him kudos for that, because people were expecting him to throw like to go hard on Rashford, but I like the fact that he handled it very well
differently.
with brains. I'm Fuse.
Timber Banks, good
Welcome,
to
welcome,
see you.
welcome. Welcome.
And
How
good
are
to see
you?
the other guest. I think you're not tired enough for this issue of Sancho. Uh,
No, it's not Sancho.
let me
We
let
were
me
saying
use
something
let me
else.
I actually brought it up. It wasn't. I brought it up.
okay. So let me
Yeah,
use
we'll just dive into the issue. Yeah,
let
go
me
on.
let me call you an hypocrite now. And this is the reason why I'm
Me?
calling you an hypocrite on there.
Me?
I could vividly remember what happened between Osime and Finidi George. You came out, you were ranting that Osime doesn't have respect on the. Let me tell you something. A manager has the right to say anything on his player at any time and any given moment. I have
Hmm.
told you time and time again that we remember when Sancho deep in form, who sent him out? Who sent him out?
For
It
three
was still
months.
the same
Ten Hag.
Ten
Ten
Hag.
Hag that sent him out to go and recuperate himself. Why are you putting the
Hmm.
blame on Ten Hag? Ten Hag is a manager. He can do anything he wants to do. If the player feels that he wants to go on social media, he should go on social media and let's see what will happen.
That did not end well anyway.
But
But
that
I'm
is
just
it.
happy that they've been able to reconcile. But one question I want to ask now is this: do you think they reconciled, whereby Tenag have like said, okay, no, I've forgiven this guy. I'm going to give him game time again, or you just believe he just brought him back to the team to be able to just ship him out, or you believe deep down that okay, no, he has forgotten about the whole thing, that he sees him as a player in his plan now.
I think as professionals, right, you have to take as in one thing first, right? If for Ten Hag to be able to work with Sancho, right?
Yeah.
Right, Sancho probably would have aligned and agreed and say, you know what, guy, okay, this is what I they would at least come to an agreement. I think, and I
Yeah,
believe,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I believe, and they have at least a basic agreement because Tenagra, in his person, with how we know him to be, he won't. He
Mhm.
probably would prefer to quit his job than take Sancho back. Right. So with the person how we know Tenagra to be, right, in my
Mm.
paper. So I believe, right, they've come together right now. They may not be best friends, right?
Yeah,
It's just more from a professional setting. Let's go and make this work. If this works for you, probably tomorrow we sell you. It's fine. If you work for anybody
yeah,
tomorrow, where you're in the team and you're playing, good for you. Your career is what they call is revived. So I think, and
yeah,
again, I remember when Sir David Bransford said something
yeah.
a while back. He said, Ryan, he said if they asked him, say, how do you handle a player that's not that is not behaving properly, or that has an attitude issue? And he said, right, he said, right, this happens in football, right? He said, if the player is a player that has skills and is good, apparently, is a good player, you have to
Hmm.
look for it to manage the whole situation. Now, from
Hmm.
what I gather from what he's saying, is either you can manage him into the team or manage him to sell him. So I believe, right, the
Hmm.
same thing they've done, right? Manage that and say, okay, let's come to at least a professional consensus
Agreement. Yeah,
agreement. Let's okay, this is what we want to do. Sancho, if tomorrow you come, you want to go, you go. If you want to stay, you
yeah.
stay. Yeah. So and again, Sancho receives about 250. Some people say up to 350. I'm not sure. He receives
No,
250.
it's up to 250, if no more. I think it's up
Yeah.
to 250, if no
So
more.
so Sancho receives that amount of money, right? So for me, that's why let's say he should be putting his whole effort on the team because nobody is
Hmm.
paying him that amount of money. Nobody will pay him
Ah,
that amount of money.
no, no, no. Nobody will pay him now, and that's why they're even finding it difficult to sell him. Nobody will pay him that amount of money
Yes.
anywhere.
Yes.
And like you said, now it's all about being professional, because I remember vividly well that Roy Keane and Sir Alex Ferguson, you know, were not really close. They were not really like gelling together as well. But if there's one thing Roy Keane was able to do and Sir Ferguson. Because people still, I wonder, how are you not in good terms with the player and yet is your captain? Roy Keane and Sir Ferguson, they're not really like best of friends, but yet he still gave him the captain band and they still work,
because
accordingly to
because
deliver
it's
trophies,
exactly because
you know.
it's you are a professional. Forget mileage. Forget
Yeah,
personal feelings. We're going there to do a job. When Rooney and Ferguson they clashed, right? When
yeah.
Rooney had to go apologize because he said
Hmm.
he wants to get back in the team. Van Nistelrooy, before Van Nistelrooy was shipped to Madrid, was pleading
Yeah.
that he wanted to stay, but Ferguson already made his decision, right?
Ferguson already made this decision now.
Right, so you see that it's that so that professionalism that you know what I'm here to do my job. I'm being paid to do my job, and I'll do it to the best of what they call my ability.
Ability. So, so that's the thing. I'm confused. Before I move on, I want to just ask you a quick question, man, because you've seen this thing about Conor Gallagher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what is your say on the whole thing? Because for me, in some ways, I support Gallagher, but yet again, you cannot have contract coming for you and I'm turning it down. They offered you a contract, you turn it down. Club coming for you, turn it down. So what's your say on it?
I think he wants to finish his contract with Chelsea and move on as a free agent. That's how I see it. Whether we like it
Mhm.
or not, that's where the player is going to. But his agent
But
has to speak to him.
mhm,
Uh, whether you like, that's what it is. I talked about it yesterday and I talked about it today. I've been talking about him for the past 3 days.
mm,
Chelsea gave him two different contracts and refused to sign. Aston
yeah,
Villa came with a club record fee of over 60 million pounds,
yeah,
and he refused also to go to Villa as well, despite Villa are playing the Champions League.
yeah.
I think he has other ideas, and for me, if you're telling me to read the mind of the player, and this is what I think the player is doing, I have 1 year left in my contract. I have 1 year left in my contract, and let me just see it through and look for a better deal next year that will put much more money in my pocket rather than put much more money in Chelsea's pocket. That's how he sees it. Is
Wow.
he prime for a contract? I think with what he did last season, uh, he was a standout player, even more than Endo Fernandez in that midfield. The way he
Yeah, yeah,
bounced
yeah.
the
True.
midfield and moved left, right, center across every part of the pitch. I think he did a wonderful job for Chelsea last season, and they should have rewarded him at least with a 3 to 4 years contract. He's still young, 24 years of age. They gave
Yeah,
him a
true.
2 years contract with an option,
Additional
1 year,
1 year.
and that's
Yeah.
for me, for a young player that still have potential in him, great potential. He's not even at his peak yet,
Hmm.
and you're like offering him I think it's ridiculous from Chelsea. Chelsea needs the money. I understand. They
Yeah,
need the money to facilitate other deals. They need the money because of the financial fair play rule, or the PSLR, the profit and sustainability rule in the Premier League as
Yeah.
well, to know how much they've spent and how much that have come in from the club. They need all those money. But I just think that the player wants to finish his contract at Chelsea. The pay is good. If you look at the pay at the other two clubs that have been offered, not compare, because players, let's outside playing football, they also look at what comes in them, because they look for something to hold on to when they are retired.
That is him being wicked then because
No,
if I was going to be honest,
he's
no,
looking
no,
out
no.
for his
It's
because
not.
sister
it's
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 interest.
no,
any
no, no, no.
no
See,
let me
Silva,
because yeah.
football is business, and the business cut,
Yes,
Mm,
not just cut across the club itself. It's also cut across the players, their representatives, their
and
agents, and every
everyone,
other thing, all
everyone.
across.
Yes,
It's a very big business, and sometimes that's why when people say, "Let me use the Nigerian term, now blood money day football." Truly, it's not blood money, but that is what
man,
it
don't go
is.
there. Blood money.
Yeah, but that is what it is. Money has
But
to be
what is it?
spent, and players have to be wiser in what decision
Yeah.
that they take.
For me, why I say that is wickedness is because Chelsea have increased the money because what he earns currently is £50,000. Currently, is earning £50,000.
Mhm.
They increased the money to 160.
No, he didn't sign an
Then they
improved. No,
off.
no, he didn't sign an improved contract. Point of correction.
No, you
There
have
was
not yet
no,
signed yet.
no, there was no improved contract. So
No, they
if
were no,
if
because they were offering him, they added money to it, not just £50,000 anymore. They added more money to his salary.
is he up to one hundred and
He
fifty
turned it
thousand
down.
pounds,
Yeah, it was 160.
£150,000 for Conor Gallagher by Chelsea. Chelsea have the
I am
least.
telling you,
Chelsea have
they
the least
they
paid
they are
wages in the Premier League now among the top six. Go and check. They
I
have the least
know
paid
because
wages
most of
among the
most of
top
them are
six in the
seeing
Premier League.
150, 120, 130.
It's
Most
still
of Chelsea
not enough.
players.
It's still not enough for the player.
With 130 on 50, come on, say, come on. It's only certain club pays foolishly, which we know, United. Come on, that is that one is decent, man.
No, he wants more. Players want more money. To be frank, players want more money. I think the problem with Gallagher as well is he feel not being appreciated by Chelsea. To be frank,
Yes.
and that is yes, his feel not being appreciated. Let's call the spade a
They
spade
pay him,
and
but they pay
let's
him.
mention it.
They pay him.
They
That's the
pay-
thing. They pay him. They don't pay him because even there's one thing like this same thing happened to Anieka at Chelsea. It happened to Maluda. So
Mhm.
it happened to Mason Mount.
Anelka
Happened
has made
to
even before Anelka came back to Chelsea, he has made a lot of money. That's why I didn't really see Anelka problem as a problem. He made a lot of money. It's just like the Lukaku of this time, or Lukaku is just like Anelka of this time. They journey with money all across the see. Let me
Yes.
say this. In the 1990s to the 2000s, Anelka has the highest amount being spent on him on transfer. Remember when he moved to Arsenal, when he moved to Real
yeah.
Madrid, from Real Madrid to Arsenal, from Arsenal to PSG, from PSG he went to India and thereabout. I think
So
spent
he came
some
back to
spell
Man
in India.
City.
Yes, he came back
Man
to
City
Man City. From Man City he went to Chelsea. Look
to
at the
Chelsea.
cumulative amount of money. Look at Lukaku now also. Now we are here, we know that there's a swap deal in place. The talk being in place for a swap deal between Napoli and Chelsea. I think very
Mhm.
soon that will also emerge on where that deal is with respect to where Lukaku will be
Mhm.
this season and where Victor Osimhen will be also this coming season. Um, we know that Antonio Conte said, "I want Lukaku in my team." But if
Mhm.
you tell me between Lukaku and Osimhen, the player I want currently in my team now, I will take Osimhen. Because in
Mhm.
terms of hold up play, it's not him being a Nigerian. Let's in terms of hold up play, bring other players into the we've seen it in the Nations Cup. We also saw it 2 seasons ago, even last season that he played only 22 matches and scored 15 goals in the Serie A. We also saw it bringing players in. For Lukaku, hold up play is none. At what age? At age 32, he has no hold up play. Yes, he has the strength. He
Hold
can
on.
bust.
Lukaku don't reach 32.
He's close to 32. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
it's
let's
close,
check
man.
that.
I'm sure he should. He should.
Let's
Oh
check
my
that
god.
age. So in terms of hold up play, the guy hold up play is zero, and that's why you see. Remember, there's a certain player in Man City, their top striker. They said his hold up play is still zero. His hold up is. I don't want to go into,
You
but
Yes,
don't
it's
want to call
a
the name.
player in Man City.
You don't want to call
yes.
the name.
So, but strikers should have a very good hold up play. You should be able to bring other players in to yourself, and that's why you have the likes of Inzaghi, the likes of Van Nistelrooy, the likes of
Even Drogba as
who
well.
else again? Those strikers of yesteryears, the likes of
Yeah,
Trezeguet.
Drogba now.
Yes, DJ Drogba as well. He can bring in other players towards him because they have an efficient and equipped hold up play, and that is what football a complete striker should be all about. So I think, but Antonio Conte knows what he wants from Lukaku, so that is why he's going for him. So, but let's see what will happen because
No,
that deal has to
if
be
there's
struck.
one thing,
That deal has to
if
be
there is
struck
one thing,
between Chelsea and Napoli, so that we see Osimhen in the Premier League and we see
Mhm.
Victor, what's his name, Lukaku remain in the Serie A, which he has been for the past 3 seasons. So far, so good.
and he always kisses every badge. He kisses every badge.
Yes.
That guy is a
That is
lawyer, man.
that is
He
football
kisses
players
every
for
badge.
you. They have no allegiance to any club, as long
Yeah,
as the
but
money,
one thing
as long
about
as the money
Conte,
is right.
yeah,
Exactly.
one thing about Conte is that Conte, I don't know how he does it. He is a manager out there that knows how to bring out the best from Lukaku. It's Conte. I don't know. I don't just know how he do it. Like he has not even signed the job as yet. He's already screaming for Lukaku.
He has signed the
But
contract. He has signed the contract.
Yes, I think it's like yes.
yeah, he has
That
signed the
that
contract now.
yeah.
Let us hope whether because I see that Aston Villa are also in talk for Lukaku as well just now. Coming from Flatterberg, Aston Villa, they want
Yeah.
Lukaku. Like that guy, I don't know his
Aston
agent,
Villa has
man.
to Aston Villa has to be careful the way they spend money because you see, to be frank, I know they're the Champions League and they want to make inroads, but
Mhm,
they
Mhm.
have to be very, very. They have a good manager that have experience in Europe,
mhm.
but also I know they have to sign
Mhm.
players that have European experience as well. Uh they can shock other teams as in the Champions League. They can do that. They can shock other
Mhm.
teams. They can make history, but they have to spend wisely. Yes, they spent wisely and they sold. Remember, they sold Diaby to
Hmm.
for 50
Diaby
million
and
pounds recently to.
Douglas Lewis.
Yes, Douglas Lewis went. That deal with Douglas Lewis, there is a question mark on it because remember that
Ash. Ash.
I agree. I agree.
there's a question mark on it. Remember that I did a show on players what do they call it? But let me just put it, but the Douglas Lewis deal goes like this. Remember, Douglas Lewis went to look at it. Douglas Lewis went to Juventus
Yeah.
with a hope with that sell on of 60 million. Remember, 60 million pounds or 60 million euros. But
Yeah.
there was a certain player that came in from Juventus to the other side, or other two players from Juventus to the other side. Ellen Junior moved
Yeah.
over
Two.
to the other side as well.
Mm.
So you can call it player laundry or whatever
Player
you call it.
laundering.
That's how the deal. That's how the deal went.
It's still
That
player
was the word
laundry.
you used. Player laundering.
Yes, player laundry. So Chelsea did it also. As Everton, Chelsea and Aston Villa have been the prominent team that have
Doing
been
it.
doing it this
Chelsea,
season.
Chelsea are the
Player
master of
laundry.
it now.
Yeah.
Chelsea have been the master of it, honestly.
Man City are
But
doing it too,
moving
sure,
on,
but
guys, I want to just check
through their own networks.
who
Oh,
has
really?
Man City now they do it through their own networks, like their
Yeah,
sister
they did do
club,
their own
feeder
network. Yes,
club.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah. They do it. Man City are just crazy, man. They must I just wanted to get caught, man, honestly. That they can go to like do. Honestly, I wanted to get caught, man. You know. Now, on my views, who has the better squad right now between Chelsea and Liverpool at the moment?
At the moment, well organized squad.
Hmm.
If you look at Liverpool, still have the hallmark of their players from last season now, which is key.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if you look at Chelsea, even from last season, they begin to click. I don't know how. See, I think Chelsea are in danger, and I will say it to any Chelsea fans out there that's watching this show.
Mhm.
Um, the Chelsea as a team are in danger because I think it's all about starting afresh all over again, and
Yes.
Yeah.
depending on how the players quickly pick from the ideas and the philosophy of Enzo Maresca, then I think it will be better for them. But with the two matches we've seen them, or two matches they've played so far so good. They were hammered by Celtic. They won. They beat Club American by 3 goals.
3-0.
Yes, anybody can beat Club American. Anybody can be, but the main thing is that Celtic being hammered by Celtic.
Yo,
Let's call that.
man.
Look at the defense. It's still made of young players.
But man, it's crazy,
Yes,
man.
they
And
don't
they're
have
still buying money.
experience in that defense.
They're still buying more young players.
But the Shield, the other guy there, they're still made of young players. You look at the midfield. You have Enzo Fernandez. You have this Ecuadorian guy. What's his name? Myself.
Which one?
The Ecuadorian guy in Chelsea midfield that they bought from
Caicedo.
Brighton.
Caicedo.
Caicedo. They have Caicedo in that midfield. You look at the top three players in that midfield as well. I just think that they have a bunch of inexperienced players. So they've gotten the likes of Drewsbury Hall into the team. They've gotten a lot of players back to that team to see if they'll be much more experienced. I just think the only mistake that they did was to sack Pochettino. They should have given Pochettino one more season.
Yes.
And I say
Yes.
it, take me to
Yes,
the
I
bank
agree.
to watch Chelsea fan. Give him one more season and let's see how the project matured. Because this is all over. If Enzo Maresca fails to do the job, then what else for Chelsea?
Yes, that's true.
But
Yeah,
this
that's
is
true.
Osaki.
Because they have to sack him now. It's a
Exactly.
club. It's like a club.
That means it's going back to the drawing board again. You have somebody
Yes.
that has been doing the job. He has struggled to bring those young players into one fold. They are playing fantastically good football towards the end of the season. They've been gelling left, right, center. And now you are telling the guy, Baba, pack your load and go. But what is it? Football is not like that. It is not 1+1. It's not 1+1. Some things have to be put be given in to get some success out of it. I don't just know why the sacking of Pochettino at the end of last season. Yes, they were playing to the gallery because of the Chelsea fan and other people. But who cares in modern day football? You overhaul a team, a very large team that was made up of Kante, that was made up of who else again? A lot of players in
Sure.
that team, and
Sure.
left only one experienced player, and the experienced player now has also gone as well. So what would you for fall on? You need experienced players in your team, and that is why I like the way Arsenal are going by their business. Now they will get Mikel Moreno into their team. 28-year-old experienced players. You need that experience in the
Drive.
team. A player that have won at least 2 trophies in his career, whether we like it or not, including the Euros as well. He helped He helped Spain win the Euro this time around with the goal he scored against the Germans in the quarterfinal. Whether we like it or not, you need experienced players in your team, and experience plus youthfulness does it for you. Madrid is a typical example. Experience and youthfulness has made them to flourish over time. And Florentino Perez have understand that I don't need to spend 150 million pounds on on players per season. I can buy young players, the like of Endrit, the likes of Vinicius Junior. We're signed at a very tender age, and we're brought into the team. And this is what is materializing for Madrid now. They don't need to spend big. And guess what? Madrid is the first club that have hit 1 billion euros in a season, a football season.
1 billion
Revenue.
pounds, not euro. It was pounds.
No,
1
1 billion euros, not billion pounds, please. 1 billion euros in the football season.
Was euros.
Because they know how to do the business very well.
Euros. Because they get people for free now. They get people for free.
Yeah,
And
it-
that was
No,
what
they don't
they
get people for free. Point of correction.
get
They don't get
Saliba.
They strategize.
every club now is modeling the Madrid this because Florentino Perez have realized that I don't need to spend money on some. Let me use the word. Excuse me to use it on some fucking Galacticos by so-called name. I don't need to start spending money on Galacticos. But what I need to do is to build a formidable team, a very strong team, a strong goalkeeper, 2 strong defenders, 2 good left back and right back,
But
a very strong midfield all across with experience. Because you see how the likes of Modric there in that team, that his words in the dressing room can make a lot of sense for the likes of Kamavinga, the likes of Chouameni, the likes of Jude Bellingham in that midfield, and they should be able to control matches going forward. I don't know.
Also, one thing that's worked while he has that strategy, I agree with you. One thing that's worked in their favor is that they've been extremely successful, which aids in negotiations, right? With what I call with players. Because if they haven't been successful, as in, I don't think they'll get all the players that they have now. Right? Again, it's in the big name, right? But I think if you look at the past 10 years, right, they've been extremely successful, and which came from
Exactly, I agree with you, but success doesn't come cheap like that. Something has to give in. That's what I said. But you remember that
it came from spending, though. It came from spending.
Yeah, no, it came from spending.
Yes.
And guess what? The cherry on the cake was the new Bernabeu Stadium. Go to the new Bernabeu Stadium and see what is really going on in that place. The executive lounge is top notch, world class. No one can beat the new Bernabeu Stadium executive lounge. And guess how much they make from that lounge itself? Not even from the fans. Guess how much they will make in a season from that lounge itself? They're talking about close to 500 million euros if care is not taken, even after tax.
For how many years? You pay it once. You pay it for a year. You pay the money.
Pay for a year. And people
pay for a year. You pay it.
The cream de la cream of this world and of Spanish football will always come there and watch football and dine there as well.
I agree with you.
Mr. Drex, how are you? Good evening. How are you doing today?
Yeah, big up. Yeah, big up everybody. I'm all right. Big up Phyllis. Tesh, how you doing?
Yeah, good.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I just joined in. So what's on the menu?
No, I think we were just talking
about Chelsea. Who has a better score between Chelsea and Liverpool?
At the moment, right? One can actually say it's Liverpool, right? Looking at what Klopp left behind, right? One can actually say it's Liverpool. So, but now let's switch it. If you give Klopp the Chelsea side that Mauricio Pochettino had last season, would he have been able to galvanize the team to do much more better, finish maybe higher or something, right? Maybe, but that's that's a very big if in terms of it's not happening. It didn't happen, right? But in terms of the strong side, I feel like Liverpool have still at the presently they still have a better squad. They haven't really. I don't know if they've topped up in terms of one or two players coming in. I believe they have one or two players coming in, but I still feel like Liverpool would they have a better side. Whether they will finish ahead of Chelsea this season is left to be determined, right? Because we still have the season has to play out. We know there's a lot of factors and variables that make a season go bad or make a season very good for you. So that I cannot say. But from where we're staying right now at this point today, this time, it's Liverpool for me. It's Liverpool with a better squad right now.
Yeah, I
They've
do
got
agree. I do agree
experience.
as
They've
well.
got experience
Yeah.
to because you have to factor in every variable. They've got experience on how to handle the league or on how to handle the Champions League, on how to handle the whatever European competition they're in, right? So they've got winners in their team. Does this Chelsea side do they have winners? That's another
I
thing. And
doubt.
most of them are young, right? So experience, even the Premier League wise. If you want to talk about Premier League wise, not most of them have the experience, right? So Kopama just burst onto the scene, although he was at Man City, played a few games here and there, but in terms of a full season, one could actually say he just got one full season under his belt playing consistently, right? Enzo Fernandez got into the league last season, although Caicedo has been there, but it's not like there was a system at Brighton that favored Caicedo that made
Mhm.
everybody wanted him. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but there was a system in there that favored him, that made everybody that improved, that made him stand out, if you know what I mean. So all in
Yeah.
all, maybe they might, like I said earlier, if they will finish above Liverpool this season, it's yet to be determined. But at the moment, it's Liverpool with the better squad.
Okay. Let me ask you one question really quick. In fact, everybody here, all on the panel, would you take Conor Gallagher in your team right now?
You said what?
In uppercase, right?
Conor
Underline.
Gallagher.
That's what I'm answering you first. In
No, no, no.
uppercase,
No, I said no.
underline it, right? Put it in any kind of effect you want to put it, right? Design the NO for me. I
Yeah, I
am not.
said no.
I think I'll go with Drex, and I'll give I always give reasons for why I'm
Yeah, yeah, go
why I
on.
always
Go
pick
on.
out this. No, this is what I think. Gallagher is good, but to have him on my team, I don't think he can improve that team, and that is why you see I keep saying it. We have good midfielders coming up now. Really good midfielders. Really good. When I mean really good midfielders, if you look at Jao Neves, if you look at
Mhm.
Kobe Mainu, if you look at who else again? Which of the young midfielders you have out there? Uh, I don't think Gallagher come close to those young players in terms of what they have in terms of footballing sense, where they how they position themselves across the pitch. Uh, they know when to attack. Just take a look at these players I've just mentioned. Go and take a look at their clip. They know when to attack. They know when to defend. They know when to press, and they know when to go forward. And that is what I think is missing in the likes of Gallagher. And that is why you see at certain point in the Euros, he was dropped completely, totally from that away from that English midfield, because I will not use this word I used to use. He has the brain of a midfielder, the leg of a midfielder, but he doesn't really have that courage of a midfielder where he's supposed to be at a certain point in
Mm.
time. So I just think that for me, it's a no, 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 no. I won't have him in my team. Even as my second midfielder in the team, I won't have him, to be frank.
Yeah, because the reason why I asked is because I saw a Manchester United fan
Yeah,
talking about saying that it is in 2024 you see players like Conor Gallagher being
yeah.
sold. And I was asking the guy, would you
You
take him at
take
your
him.
club? Would you take him? Because
No,
everybody will be telling
no, he
you
knows he won't take
they
it.
should
He
give
knows he
this
I
won't
guy.
take
think
that.
I
He
think
knows he
what the guy might be trying to point out to is the fact that he's saying you're selling. This is me just twisting, right? You're selling
exactly.
a Conor Gallagher at this 2024 when you're supposed to just terminate his contract or release him. But let's
Exactly.
not. But let's get one. Let's get one thing and one fact straight here, right? Conor Gallagher is a fine player.
That
Will it now?
when you say
Yes.
fine, you take him.
No. There's even okay. Let me tell you. Okay. Let me ask you one. Let me tell you one. Let me tell you why I say this. Even a João Neves right now for that went to PSG, I
Yeah.
might not take him at United.
Yeah, I agree with you. I
So
agree with you.
does that make him not a fine player? You understand? So there are
Yeah,
players
yeah.
that your team are linked to, and you're like, why? But if they come, you'll be the one singing their praise because guess what? They're in your
Exactly.
team. You have to back them, right? Even if
Yes.
Yeah,
Gallagher
true.
joins my
True.
team, I'm saying no now. But I might even come to football fans and say, forget that thing I said the other day. Man can play ball, So, but so let me so dropping that aside, right? Is he's a fine player. The thing is, when depend on what the manager wants, bro. Like you just asked us now. Let's say we are the managers of the said team that we're talking about. No. But depend on what the manager wants. You might be surprised. The manager might be telling you in the top six, might tell you I need the Gallagher guy, right? And we all be sat here. I'm like, why? What's the thing in this guy? That there might be a particular role that Gallagher can perform for that coach, right? In his
Mhm.
team, that the man knows that okay, this is an asset I need. This is a tool I need. And if, for example, maybe the club is saying we cannot go buy a player at this point in time, and the manager is like, okay, you know what, that guy is there, is fair. Can we do a deal for him, right? Like the case of Chelsea, he's a Chelsea player, right? Let's say Maresca comes in and say, yo, don't sell this guy. I need this guy, right? And the owners are telling him, oh, but there's money to spend. We could get somebody that is an upgrade on his skill set and on what he offers, right? And the manager is like, okay, but if you cannot find me that, I might as well leave this guy. So those are the kind of players. And if these players, don't forget that some of them might not be itchy to want to leave the football club. They are okay
Yeah.
being a squad player, and being a squad player most of the time it's not actually necessarily a bad thing. Because I hear so many fans say, man, that guy is at best a squad player. At best, a squad player does not mean that the player is trash, bro. It's not everybody in this world will be. And
I agree with you.
I always used to
I
point
agree with
this
you.
out to
I
people.
agree with him.
Ole Gunnar
100%.
Solskjaer, right, was a good player in his time. But he
True.
was a squad player and a bench player. Although whilst he doing the podcast at the overlap, whilst he said, oh, sometimes he really wished he could start, right? Even the manager would tell him sometimes he will start, but at the end of the day, maybe due to something in the training ground, he's not able to start, right? One second,
Yeah.
one second.
Yeah.
Right? So he gets peace. But the truth is, when this guy comes on, it gives you something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And does that make the player? So that's why I say we should just get our fast. So anybody watching will not say, okay, this guy's actually dissing a fine player. No, we're not dissing a fine. It's just that for what we think each of our club needs, right? Maybe Gallagher don't suit. I use the word maybe because we're not the coaches, right? Gallagher don't suit what they want to do. You understand? Gallagher for a Fulham, Gallagher for a Crystal Palace, Gallagher for even for a Newcastle, right?
Yeah.
Gallagher could do a job because for a Newcastle with under Eddie Howe, you already know the kind of football you're gonna expect, bro.
Yeah, true. Even Atletico Madrid, he
Yes,
will play in Atletico Madrid,
and
man.
and
I don't know
Atletico
why he's
Madrid
not taking the
actually
deal.
looking to sign him. I think they were interested
It's
in
not
signing
looking
him.
to. It's not looking to sign him. The deal has been struck at 3
It has
million
been
pounds. They are just waiting for green light from the player, but the player is.
okay.
I
Just
think
imagine.
he's just
They,
dragging his feet.
and
Maybe he did something.
maybe
He did
doesn't no, it
something.
doesn't no, it doesn't want to. Maybe he doesn't want to go to Spain at this point. So
That's what I said.
so
He has
maybe
1 year left
No,
on
he
his
was.
contract.
Ash said
so
that
He
as
has
well.
one year
Ash
left
said
on
it
his
as
contract.
well.
I
maybe
think he can just sit.
he's looking for maybe he's waiting maybe to see if an English club, maybe the likes of Fulham or somebody, right? Southampton or one of those clubs that got that got promoted. Maybe he's looking for somebody to come in from the Premier League, right? Because don't forget, sometimes we as fans we're like, go, make him move. But these guys, they have family, they have business. Sometimes they have business. And most of the time it's actually family. Now,
Yeah, true.
are you going to just take your kids and everybody all the way to Spain, start a new life? Or are you going to leave them back home in England? So
Revisiting.
it's a lot going on. So for him to stall, maybe he's just waiting, right, for somebody to just come in and see. But if an Atletico Madrid will be a very, very fine place for him. If Trippier can
Honestly.
go there and do well, I think a Gallagher should not be thinking of the distance or home away. He should just make it a home away from home, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, guys.
And that is that.
I was just on receiving a call.
Nah,
My
it's
apologies.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You already say you not take on Galaga now, so
No, I say
no
no.
issue.
Yeah, I don't. I don't guys give reason. I don't want. I don't want. I don't.
No, one thing is this now. I'm on fuse.
Yeah.
No, so that said crap last week was not is not yet now. No, so was comparing Rice and Fletcher. So because of time, I decided to bring it to this day because I don't know
Rice
how
and the old
we are
Fletcher Darren
old
Fletcher.
Fletcher. Yeah, like
I
how are
think
we
it's
comparing these two players?
I think for me is man, it's gonna be difficult because for me Rice have not really made his mark. What I mean made his mark is that yes, he's in a good team now. Uh, an Arsenal team that he joined last season from West Ham. Almost won the league. But if you look at
Mhm.
Fletcher, I think he has made a good name for himself. Played in the Champions League final, won the Champions League, won the league with Man United for a record 6 times or 5 times in a row since he was there. Uh, in terms of what they bring something two totally different in because you remember that Fletcher started from the wings when what's his name when Beckham left. Yes,
Beckham.
sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much for reminding me. When Beckham left, he started from the wings. From the wings, he was drafted to the midfield, and gradually he made that midfield his own from 2007. Then before he started having this problem of illness and thereabout. But for Declan Rice, uh, if you look at him as a player, and you know he's a midfielder, and you know that he's a midfielder that can press when he needs to press because we most of us started watching football even when the word pressing was not used. I think
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
us can
yeah.
agree with me.
Yeah, I
We,
agree
we
with you.
we started watching football even when the word pressing. We don't know what the word pressing is. Uh,
Mhm.
because all we knew was a formation of 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 or 4-3-3 diamond at that time. Coaches use them effectively very very well and use them to win trophies. The likes of Sir Alex Ferguson, the likes of Arsene Wenger, the likes of Carlo Ancelotti, and that's why I call Carlo Ancelotti the dynamic coach because he changed over time. You see
Yeah.
him, he changed over time. He understands the game and change over time. And let me say this with regards to Carlo Ancelotti before I come back to the Fletcher for Carlo Ancelotti, he was the manager of Juventus in 1999. You can see how far he has gone in coaching. For how many decades has
Man,
he been coaching? And some
man.
people will say he's outdated. And I'll say, come on, guys. Carlo Ancelotti being outdated. He's the most dynamic manager. He changed with time. If he has 100 years to coach again, Carlo Ancelotti will still do successfully very, very well because he knows where football is going to. He changed dynamically. He changed his squad. He knows the players that will suit the game. This time for this game and for the other game. Now coming back to the Fletcher of a thing, I think both of them play in different eras where football was, I will not say totally different, when football was changing. And for me, if I will have a player in my team currently now between these two players, I'll still take Fletcher because he can give you more goals than Declan Rice. He can press as well. He can pass the ball, and he knows what his duties is on the pitch. For Declan Rice, I think he's a modern. I'll use the word modern midfielder of his. He can. How many goals did he score last season? Just a few. And that was it. But in terms of doing his job in that midfield, um, he does it very well, but not like the likes of Rodri and the likes of who else again that you expect because he plays the same role as them, but he doesn't really look at the way Rodri play. Rodri can also give you goals in important matches, but for Rice,
Yeah.
he's always there, stick to that position, go to the front when he wants to go to, come to the back when he wants to come back. Maybe with the presence, with the buying of what's his name Moreno now, he can move advancively to see whether he can get much more goals. But I just think that he's restricted to that role, not like Rodri we know, not like the likes of Busquets. These are effective and efficient midfielders that can really get you something even when games are very very tight. But for Rice, he's good. He's excellent. But I don't think I will still have him because he still lacks some deficiencies. He still lacks that moment of getting you those goals in a tighter match. We've seen that with Rodri. We saw that in the Champions League final against Inter. We've seen that in some Premier League in some Premier League matches that Man City just narrowly scrapped out with a 1-0 win. We also seen Fletcher rescuing United in some matches when he was during his playing days, and these are the ingredients that makes you a very thick and formidable midfielder going forward.
Drex, what do you think?
The man, Feels,
Yeah.
in your first life, were you a politician?
Exactly. It sounds like a Nigerian
You
politician.
dish out, man. You're dishing out like one politician I know.
That is why we love the game. That's why we love the
Yeah,
game. We
but
love
yeah,
the game.
spot on, right? The two, first of all, look at both of them. Both of them are actually they play. Fletcher ended up playing in the same role like that. Rice is playing in right now, right? Fletcher. Tess, what do we used to call Fletcher? Fletcher bone. Fletcher in your team. Fletcher.
So, and I know when you mentioned rescue, just to get sorry to cut you, Drex, rescue. I recall Ferguson finding it extremely difficult to beat Mourinho. I think over.
Oh, you watched that match that year?
Yes, they scored a goal that they hit the ball, and the ball
Fletcher
forced himself inside the goal.
So it Fletcher ended up being one. Beg to use this word, tool, right?
Good.
That Alex Ferguson could not do without, bro. If Alex Ferguson was a carpenter, right? Fletcher was maybe a handsaw or something that before Alex Ferguson would
or the nail.
or something, Fletcher is there. Right? The same way Park was in the final third, that's how Fletcher was in that midfield, trying to shield the back four. One could say Fletcher was sometimes he was a 6, sometimes it was an 8, right?
Yeah.
So for me, who would I take? Who would I take from the two of them? Bro, I could have both of them in my team though. Right? I could have both of them in my team, then knowing fully well that Rice might just be the one doing the dirty job. Fletcher might just be the one roving for me, or vice versa. Now, who is better between the two of them? Bro, they're both playing different eras. Like what Omofil said right now. When Fletcher and when during the Sir Alex days when we were seeing the likes of Fletcher, Cole, Rooney, so when we were seeing those players, the way they were playing that time, all we said was these guys could charge him. But now they changed it to what Omofis is saying that it's press. So when people say, when people are saying pressing, that time for us is, bro, charge this guy. This guy can charge you. Like if Park Jin Song was coming at you that time, you know that there's a high chance you will lose that ball.
Park Jin Song.
So these were the players that you know that they were top professionals. Fletcher was a top professional. When he was asked to play to protect the back four, don't go anywhere, he does it. When he was asked to say, okay, you know what, support the midfield and see if you could get Nick a go here, he was doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Declan Rice, he just left West Ham, got to Arsenal last season. He's not a bad player. He's a good player. He's even way better than good, right? In my opinion. Right? But the two of them, to actually say compare both of them, I can't. But if you ask me to pick, I'd pick a Fletcher all day, every day, bro.
I can compare them, and I will compare them.
Yeah, I will pick a Fletcher all day. Not because I'm a United fan, because I saw not just because of that, because I saw what Fletcher did for my football. Like, bro.
See, Jerks, if you look at it, right, from a passing perspective, Fletcher can pass.
Yes.
Can pass. Fletcher can score.
Can play from
Fletcher
the
can
wing.
mark. He has the energy. And forget, in this day, Fletcher will press.
Yeah,
so Fletcher has what Declan Rice has and more. He has what Declan Rice, because in this day, Fletcher will do what Declan Rice is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he's down, and he will be commanding £100 million transfer.
Exactly.
Yes, he doesn't care.
And Fletcher has left for 90 minutes. it's like he has what they call his energy. Him and package some. I don't understand. They keep
Panya
going
Song.
till the last
Till they
minute.
blow the whistle or till they come
So
up. And
so
Fletcher, also another person you could put in that category is like Ander Herrera. Now, Ander Herrera and Declan Rice, that maybe compare those two, right? That's another person you could put in that category, right? In terms of when we're comparing these two players now, right?
Yeah.
Fletcher, like what Tess is saying, Fletcher can pass. Fletcher has an eye for a pass. Fletcher he can play off the wing. If you put Fletcher up the right wing, like what Omofield said, he could play off the right wing.
he's
Fletcher at one time
intelligent.
played right back for us, and
Exactly.
he did it
Exactly. Say it
well.
again. Say it again.
Utility.
So
Utility
so
player.
bro, football. Talking about
You
this,
look
like
at it,
making
bro. Huh?
talking
You
about
know,
it.
you know,
Just football
I
has
tell my
gone, bro.
I tell my colleagues that they said Afghanistan is the graveyard of what, master, graveyard of empires, but football is the graveyard of players that have come and gone. And when you look at them play, you see, I was amused that Carragher was dissing Lisandro Martinez, that he's short, he cannot do well in the Premier League, blah blah. But Carragher himself forgot the likes of Antonio Costa, who was at the same height as like Martinez, one of the greatest defenders that have played the game those years. He has forgotten the likes of
Cannavaro
Cannavaro
won the
as well.
Ballon d'Or.
Cannavaro that
Um,
won the Ballon d'Or
Cordoba.
as well. So
Cordoba.
I sometimes I don't understand how this pundit look at things. Maybe because they have this. Sometimes you have to take away this favoritism of your club and look at the big picture in football. I like my club doesn't mean that
Rubbish everybody.
I wouldn't talk about football the way it is currently, the way I see it. I will be blind about every other thing, and that is what most of us, because at a certain time I don't talk about my club. I don't talk about my club because I just wanted to be objective when I talk about football. But
Even
sometimes,
I want to ask you which club you support?
who me?
Yes.
United.
United. Manchester United.
United.
But sometimes you have to be. But
Yes, you
you
didn't
know
know
why
that this guy
sometimes
was
people
United.
don't.
I just
Yes,
from the way he was talking, since I already knew he was a United
No, I
fan.
didn't.
yes,
I
but
don't know.
sometimes to be objective, because I'm a journalist, full-time journalist, sport journalist. To be objective very, very well is that you have to put aside your club and look at football the way it is being played currently in your eyes and say, Baba, put my club aside. Let's talk about football
What's
first of
happened?
all. Then we talk about your club and every other thing that is in place. So, but this is football, and we like I always said, we love the game, and we can always talk about it 247 without getting tired.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now, I think this deal is the deal that is holding this guy from coming to United. This Jonathan Tah. Jonathan Tah's deal is the reason why United have not gotten who they want.
No, I don't think so. Let me make that correction here. It's not Jonathan Tah deal that is stopping. Now, this is the problem with the Tah deal. The Tah deal is between Bayern and Bayern Leverkusen.
Yeah.
For the Jonathan for I think what is really holding up that deal for Mazraoui, for Mechele Delete, is that there's an asking price of 50 million euros. I don't think I don't know. I'll ask this question here before I just within the next 5 minutes I will leave the show. Is it fair for United to pay 50 million euros for Mechele Delete?
Manchester Elite.
Yes. Is
What
it
is-
fair
what
for
is-
United? Yes, it's the asking price, but I don't think he worth that amount. I think he worth around 40 million euros, topmost. That's what I think Delete worth.
Million euros.
Rex,
come on
what
now.
do you think?
One quick. Let me just Tess, go ahead. Let me just enter transfer market. For me, I think 40,
As in-
45,
as in, 'cause
40,
for me,
45
That's what they are asking
yes.
for. That's what Bayern are asking for. 50 million euros.
50 million euros
yes.
is equivalent to what?
To then about
I
40,
think 42 million, I think. It should be
50 million euros
42
is about
million.
42 million pounds, and United wants to pay 34, which is about 40 million.
Exactly.
About 40. For
Exactly.
me, that is a fair price.
50 million euros is a fair price.
No, around the 40, 42 million euro
Exactly,
mark.
my brother, exactly. And that is what it
So for
hold on. There was a deal. United presented a deal for the two players,
Yeah,
Masraoui and Delete, yesterday.
yeah.
I mean today, and uh, Bayern just rubbish it and put it aside.
No, but it's Bayern did not. So Bayern say so for me it's a good strategy, right? Um,
Mm.
if I want to come buy your car, like let's say you have two properties that you want to sell, right? And for the it's all business strategy for the price of two. So you want to sell maybe your piano, and you want to sell your TV stand, right?
Yeah.
Piano is going for, you're saying the piano is like 100, your TV stand is like maybe 35, 40, and I'm saying, okay, I'm willing to pay, maybe for the piano I'm willing to pay like 65, and for the TV stand I'm looking to pay like maybe like 20 thereabout, or 15 or 20 thereabout, right?
Okay.
So, and I come to you adding up those two prices, it looks like close to is 80, it looks big, right?
yeah,
It looks big for those two, right? So you are looking like, there's money right there. But sometimes, right, psychologically, you might even forget that it's actually two properties that you're selling right now, right? I'm just talking from my own, what like some of your experience I've had, not those. I'm not a financial analyst person, right? So it makes sense to actually go for the two as to actually go for one, because going for one, you're offering like 40 something, and they are like 40 something. It's not weighty as to when
yeah,
you
yeah,
now
yeah,
go
yeah,
for the two, and you're like, the two of them are now like, the two, both players are now looking like 60, right? It's
yeah,
okay. Can we just still push these guys to just maybe give us something more, right? But I know for sure United will maybe sweeten the Mazzari deal for them to get the delete. United will not go over. And I know it's all hinged on Jonathan Tah and all of that, right? But I still feel like Bayern Leverkusen are still holding firm for a certain price. Tah would want to go to Leverkusen, to Munich,
yeah.
um, and it's not like he can't stay at Leverkusen for another
Well,
season,
yeah.
right? So it's all maybe Leverkusen are actually do one. So United are just see a lot of things are gonna be nobody. I I beg to say this: nobody has money in this market to throw
Yeah,
around. Everybody's
yeah,
been careful, everybody's been tactical, everybody's been methodical. Is it methodical in the way they spend their money, right? So I believe they would budge at a certain price, and United are just waiting, because United don't want to go into the thing and maybe, okay, we're offering 40, we've been holding down the 40 million euros, and maybe now because there's injury to Euro, and you're like, okay, let's do. No, United are still going to maintain decorum here. United are still going to maintain their strategy and say, yo, this is 40. So let Bayern come down to them and be like, okay, you know what, you've been holding out on 40 for this long. Let's see how we could. They will definitely make a deal. Because if this deal was going to be off, right, United won't wait. See what they did with Brentwaite. Is this or that? Boom. We leave it. So for me, that deal will happen. I feel they're just waiting for Lindelof to leave, as well as Wan-Bissaka, and I believe once Wan-Bissaka agrees a deal with West Ham, because I think the Wan-Bissaka deal now is on hold, because to West Ham is on hold because I think Inter Milan have come into the picture again, and Wan-Bissaka favors a move outside of England. So
yeah.
let's just wait and
I
see
think he
how
wants
that.
to. He wants to go to Inter Milan. I believe he
Yeah.
wants to go to Inter Milan. I think he wants to go to Inter Milan. But I guess we just have to just wait and see if his dreams he achieve his dream.
So at what?
Now,
Wait, let me
okay,
just
go on.
current value of the lead is actually at the transfer market, right? It's actually 65 m's, right? So they bought him. It was I think they got him for 75. I'm not mistaken, right? So for me,
Around there.
yeah. So for me, yeah, 45 euros in terms of euros now. They are holding out for 50. Me, I'm saying 45. If I was United, 45, it's not bad.
But
45
again,
million, it's not bad.
if you look at it from a standpoint how much we paid for Euro, we paid almost like 50 something million, I believe, for Euro, and
Yeah,
the latest 24 years old, I believe.
yeah. It's 24.
24, and is experienced not just in three leagues, including um, Bundesliga, the Serie A, and also the Dutch league.
Yeah.
I think the concern for Delete is more so. I think I'm not sure it might be an injury, right? So if you put everything into perspective, right, I think that's why Bayern Munich feel that we can ask for 50 million, which is roughly around 42 million pounds, which to them will be probably a fair value for the player. For me though, 40 million pounds for the two, I think it's not. They are not what they call. They are not pulling our pants down. Just trying to get what they
Mhm.
call almost like a something from what they've what they called they've paid for the player. So
Yeah.
40 million pounds, 42.
I
It's
don't think it's
difficult.
bad as well.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad.
I don't think it's bad. Considering PSG wants 60 million for Manu Ogati. More than they want 10 million more than
Yes,
what they paid for. Like it's crazy, man. PSG are just
They
yes.
should
crazy.
go. They should go. They should go and sleep. They should go and sleep for a player that they signed 50 million and is subject to requirement in their team.
Yes.
Now they want to sell him for 60 million. That's why I said every player has a price depending on what the coach, what the club put as a price for the player. And it's so sad that the transfer market is not really buzzing the way we
I
think
don't
it will buzz.
man.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
no.
club has to compile with the PSLR, the financial fair play rules, and which I think is a very big problem for football clubs these days. But if you allow football clubs to spend extravagantly, that means there'll be no football. You will see
Mhm.
we know in the 1990s, the likes of Leeds, the likes of Bolton Wanderers, a lot of clubs went under the floor. We run on the ground because you have these so-called club owners that come in and invest their money. And when they invest their money, if it doesn't really go well for them, they just carry their money and go to somewhere else that they feel. And you leave the club in limbo. And that is why it is good to have this financial fair play rule on ground. I know it's hurting some of the big clubs, but it is good to have the financial play rule on ground so that the smaller clubs can also enjoy what football is all about. They can spend from what they get and gain from what they spend as well. And that is why you see the likes of City. I'm sorry to say, they have the guts. They have the guts to take the Premier League to court because they are not happy about the rules. The rules that they were part of. They were part of the system that made the rules. I don't understand. Well, hopefully, let's see how that case with Man City goes. They have two cases in court now. One with the PSLR rule, and the other one with the 115 charges. So let's see how that one goes. And also, they were even fined £2 million again recently.
Yeah, yeah, yesterday. That was yesterday. 22
Yeah.
breaching for kickoff delay. That
Yes,
was
yes,
yesterday.
they were even fined £2 million, and they did it. They were doing it deliberately. They didn't deny that they were doing it deliberately.
Mhm.
They came out and
True.
said we were doing this deliberately. They did not deny it. So
I
a whole lot
apologize.
of things that clubs can. There are other ways clubs can make money. There are many ways small clubs can make money. There are many ways big clubs can make money. Just present what you have to the investors, and let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. I just for me as a United fan, I am so happy that I'm so happy that we can see Ineos and Sajim on the front burner of the footballing side, but I'm still not happy because you still have that element of the Glazers in that club.
Mhm.
I don't know, but that's what it is. These guys know nothing. Let me use that word. They know nothing about football, and it is high time gradually they begin to be phased out of United. Let them start selling their shares so that United can have this so-called tranquility around every look and cranny of the club. Now a new stadium wants to be built. Who's going
100,000
to foot that? Who's
capacity.
going to foot that bill? It is the Ineos group that is going to foot
100,000.
that bill. It is them that is
You
going to
guys
foot the
ain't
bill.
joking.
Huh?
100,000 capacity. 100,000.
That is why we are the biggest club in England, whether you like it or not. We
I
are the only one
think
that
you're
can
going to
afford.
brag.
We are the only one that can.
Banks, even that 100,000, bro, it go
It's,
full through
Mm.
it.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
we are the only one.
Yeah.
We are the only one that can afford building a stadium like that in England. No club can. Even Man City with their rich Arab owners don't have the guts to build such club. But that on the other side. But I just hope, because see, if you don't have, with respect to the PSL, if you don't have this PSL in place, probably you will not see a club like Leicester winning the league again. No club,
Mhm.
like no, you will not see an average club win the league again in England. You will not see the likes of which club will I even call last season in Spain, Girona, fighting for the
Yeah.
league against the likes of Real Madrid, the likes of Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. You will not see that, because these things have to be in place. So clubs should develop other business model of generating income over the course of a season. And like I said, the Madrid the Madrid way of doing business should be modeled by clubs now that know have the financial muscle to put in money, and hope that at the end of the day the money they put inside will come out in fusion to generate much more income, and they can buy the players that they want anywhere in the world.
Mhm. Mhm. Now, um, who wins Ballon d'Or, man? Because I've been seeing people talking about Rodri, and it seems nobody. It has been Vinicius Junior, Bellingham, and Rodri. But I said, if they are including Rodri into the conversation, then you also want to add people like Cavaja and Lautaro Martinez in the conversation as well, because Rodri was good for Man City. Cavaja was exceptional for Real Madrid. I want to know you guys your view on it. So there are five there: Lautaro Martinez, Cavaja, Bellingham, Rodri, and Vini Jr. So who deserves to win the Ballon d'Or?
I think we should I'll start with elimination first. Who does not deserve?
Okay,
I
okay.
think I'll start with that first. So first player I'll probably take out, to be fair, is Jude Bellingham first. Jude Bellingham first. And that's because I believe Jude Bellingham, this is what they call, this is first. He just came from Bundesliga. Yeah, he did well. He did well.
I did
But I
well.
think he's someone that probably might need to see a bit of more of him. So I'm still, and I'll be honest, I'm still not convinced about Bellingham. I'm still not convinced. So the next party remove is
Mm.
Lautaro Martinez. So Lautaro Martinez, I know he did excellently well in what they called in the Copa America.
Copa America and even at Inter Milan as well.
He didn't start, but he always scored. I think it was as scorer. I'm not sure if it was.
Yeah, yeah. He was a scorer.
It was the highest goal
From the
scorer in
bench,
Copa.
from the bench.
From the bench,
Yeah.
yeah, from the
Yeah.
bench, right?
Yeah.
So from the bench. So I think, all right, now he has that impact though. Have we seen a player in the past that probably just come from the bench to win games and had the Balon d'Or? I haven't seen that though. We've had several super subs, including what they call Social. They are good at that. But also Martinez played well for what they called Inter Milan too, right? But I think though, this whole thing comes down to what they called sometimes PR and as to what they call play a part in it. Yeah, I agree. A part in it. So,
And
so,
the eye test. And the eye
so
test as well.
Lautaro Martinez, I'll take out. Carvajal, or probably it's in the name. It doesn't sound
Ballon
glamorous.
d'Or.
It doesn't sound Ballon d'Or-ish. So I would say,
So must your name sound Ballon d'Or before you win the
bro,
Ballon
no,
d'Or?
because this thing, it's all PR driven, right? But Carvajal though has had an excellent season, and not he didn't just what they call. That's where it's difficult, right? Is and if not for that, he's a right back. My God, the guy had a stellar season. He cleaned out every single thing, and probably
Man.
now I'm thinking, why am I eliminating him, right?
I'll
But I
tell you
think
why
though.
you're eliminating him. Don't worry. I'll tell you why.
so Carvajal. So I think it's not left with Rodri and Vini, right? If Jude Bellingham, Jude Bellingham had won If England had won the what they call Euros, I probably would have still kept Jude Bellingham in the conversation, because England didn't win the Euros. I probably think, you know, that's Jude Bellingham knows that he's gone. It's not. It won't be part of it. It won't even be what they call the European best player. So that's why I took Bellingham out. Now Rodri and Vini. Vini will have a lot of what they call backing from a Madrid perspective. Madrid is a big club. They're a huge club, and they will want that Balon d'Or to come to them. And Vini also has played well. Now, he didn't do so well, what they call in the Copa America. The whole of Brazil generally didn't do well. But I think Vini, he has won the Champions League. He won the league. And it wasn't just just a normal player, and it was basically an influential player in that Madrid side. So for me, I probably think it would be Vini that will win the Balon d'Or. I think Vini will win the Balon d'Or.
Okay.
For me, I'd go with it's a tough one, but I'd go with Vini, right? Carvajal, a right back, he won Champions League, won the Euros, right? Whew, it's a tough one though. It's a tough one. We might just see a case of two Real Madrid players making the top three. So for me, it still would Jude Bellingham should wait one more season or one more, you know. So I'd go with Vini though. I'd go with Vini for me.
So, Drex, do you think if Carvajal was a right winger, a full right winger, do you think they'd
Yes,
have won it?
yes,
They
yes,
would have won it,
yes,
yes.
yes, yes, yes. They would have his chances would have been. He would have almost been at the same level with Vini if he was playing on the right and Vini was on the left with what he's achieved, right?
Go.
Yes. I believe he would his chances would have been that high.
Feels.
He laughed.
Okay. I looked at the players on that list. I think for me, I don't think Lautaro Martinez should be on that list. Yes, he won the league with Inter, won the Copa America with Argentina, but I don't really think he should be on that list because there's more to it than winning the league and the Copa America to win the Balon d'Or. And we know what it is, what it's all about. And when you rank leagues from 1 to 3, you understand that the Serie A is even the third league as we speak now. Let's not look at the Champions League yardstick. Let's not look at that. But the Serie A is up. It's not really up there. But let's look at the other players there. Carvajal, exceptionally very well, the best right back in the world. Nobody can take it away from him, whether we like it or not. The way he plays, he knows when to attack, he knows when to defend, he knows when to put in tackles. I think he saved Spain in the Euros by getting that red card and helping
Yeah.
Spain. It was a technical foul in that match, and it was sent off. Um, I look at Jude Bellingham. I think Jude Bellingham should be in the top 3, and I'll give my reasons. And this is my reasons. Bellingham did not started making name for himself in Real Madrid. Let's say the truth. Even at Dortmund, he was exceptional. He was if he had won the league last season before he came to 2 seasons ago before he came to Real Madrid. I just think that he should be top on that list. On that list, if he had won the league, he should be at the top of that list. But I look at Bellingham. He has done really good name for himself. Coming to a Real Madrid team, playing as a false nine, scoring goals. If he's not the fourth highest goal scorer in the La Liga, then I think he has done a lot good name for himself in his first season in Spain, and also in where he's coming from. He single-handedly took Dortmund from that so-called second fiddle to almost to win the league on the top of Bayern Munich, who on the last day were saved by Jamal Musiala. But when you look at the two of the other players, and I've spoken about Rodri, and I think he's a big man in the midfield. If you look at him and the way he operates in that midfield, so much more technical. Because if you look at the last international tournament that was played, which was the World Cup, you know that he was overshadowed by Busquets. Yes, so but in this one, he took that midfield, he made it his own. He ensured that he added steel and tenacity to that midfield, and that is why the Spanish defense was so strong because of Rodri, not because of any other player. The defense was so strong, the midfield was so efficient. And though he did not score goals in the World Cup, but you can see the efficiency that he brought into that midfield, the tenacity he brought into that midfield, just like the way he did for Man City, and they won the league, and they won the league. He won the league with Man City, making them the first team in the Premier League to win the league for the fourth time in a row. Then I go back to Vinny Junior. Look at Vinny Junior for the past 18 months. Let's not look at him for the past 1 year. For the past 18 months, he has been phenomenal. He has been phenomenal for the past 18 months. I don't care what anybody wants to say about him, whether he knows how to laugh big, whether he knows how to make players. It's part of the game.
Because problem.
Yes, but he is a phenomenal. He knows his game. He understands his game. Even when he came into the La Liga, they said that Vini will not do well in the La Liga. He's finished. He has to learn. He has to go back to Brazil and learn how to play football. I say, give him time. Give him time. Give players time. We should learn how to give players time. But football is just a game that clubs and managers sometimes don't have patience to give players time. But let's give that player time. And Vini is a world-class player. If I will count from 1 to 3, Vini should be my first pick, followed by Rodri, then followed by Bellingham. That's how we do it.
Awesome. I also believe Vini will take it, man. Now, I also want to ask you guys this question: where does this team finish? This Chelsea team, if they can get Osimhen into that team,
yes,
would you expect top 4 from them?
Let me start. Let me start by saying I look at the team. I look at Sanchez. I think Sanchez is a weak link, to be frank. That
Honestly, man, it's rubbish.
It's a weak link. I don't know why Chelsea are not going for another goalkeeper. Maybe they have another. I think they have this guy on the bench.
They signed him. They signed one already.
They signed one already.
So Sanchez is a weak link. Then James, Tosin, Caldwell, Gusto. I think for Tosin he will bring in experience, but I don't think he's still that top-notch defender. Maybe something else as he's playing with Chelsea, will see his full potential as a very good defender. Then I look at Caldwell. Caldwell, what will he bring? I think you have to rotate between Caldwell and Shield going forward. One of them has to come in, the other one has to. And the other guy, there's one other guy, French defender from Monaco as well. Is it from Monaco or from where?
Yeah,
Disasi.
Okay, this is
Disasi. You see, have Fofana in that team. So you will need Fofana in this back line. I'll take away Caldwell from that and I'll bring in Fofana. If he's fit, if he's good, if he's 100%, I'll put Fofana there. I will use Fofana and Tosin because they've played a long time in the Premier League and they understand the league. Everybody should agree with me with that because those two players understand the league the way it is. Lavia, Calcedo, who else again? Enzo. I think it's a good midfield, a very strong midfield, but there is no baller in that midfield. No baller, nobody can pass the ball in that midfield very well, very, very, very. Even the Enzo Fernandez that we have, cannot pass the ball. So they need to give way for somebody else. Maybe that's why they signed Drewsby Hall. But you still need, yes, that's why they signed Drewsby Hall. But you still need somebody, a player that can pass effectively, very, very well in that midfield to ensure that the players get good service. Kopama, good enough. Maybe he plays as a number 10 as the games goes on tighter and thicker. Nkuku, We need those flashes he had from RB Leipzig before he came to Chelsea and got injured. So if you look at the team, just some few changes, I think they will still finish in the top six. I won't mention where they will finish at in that top six. They will still finish in the top six. If if the techniques, if the coach Enzo Maresca gets all the how will I say, all the eggs in the right places, if he gets the eggs in the right places, then they will finish in the top six.
Okay, okay, okay. So Drex. Sir Drex.
Chelsea. I like Chelsea though, but man, it's gonna be tough. I watched them against I watched them against can you hear me first of all?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you. Go ahead.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I watched them against Celtic, right? Now with this lineup you're putting out, yeah, Gusto, very fine player, right? James, I after September he will be on a holiday again till maybe October. Bro, no dissing, bro. I'm not dissing anybody.
No, you're right. You're right.
So, who did this with the Caicedo and Enzo behind Nkunku and Palmer?
That's I
Now,
don't understand.
this is not working, bro. Bro,
It won't work.
it will work in
It
what
won't work.
way?
It won't
It's
work. It won't
okay. It
work
won't work. Okay,
because
okay.
you have
You have
virtually
Lavia, you have Caicedo, you have Enzo. Who's going to be
and
passing? Who's
virtually
creating?
three of them are defensively minded. So who's
Mind
going
this.
to come front?
Who's
Virtually
going to
three
come
of them.
for? Except you want to leverage on the fact that Nkunku, which we know would be on holiday from October until somewhere around December, right? Leaving only
Mhm.
Cole Palmer to be the sole provider. Now, Lavia, I wouldn't put okay. Let me just go with what you're putting right here. It's a good team. It's a solid team if they're playing Man City. It's a solid team if they're playing a United. It's a solid team if they're playing. But the thing is, if you're gonna go defensive like this, I don't. Tosin will get found out. James is a very fine player when he's fit and can give Chelsea another 9 or 12 points, right?
Mm.
Colwell, not a bad defender as well, but that partnership they've not won, they've not worked, they've not been together. So it's something that they this the Premier League is not forgiving. Once they
Yeah,
find a
true.
loophole, once those striker finds a loophole in your defense, they exploit it until your manager tends to fix it. So how soon will the manager fix the loophole that might show up? We don't know, right? So Gusto on the left, yeah, might find problem. For me, Kopama, Nkunku, and Osimhen might just be the reason why Chelsea, if this is what they're putting up, might just be the reason why Chelsea will be in the top six. I call it like what Fields is saying. Might just be.
Mm.
It's not because of what we have back there. It's the front three. Because the front three on a given day, we know what Osimhen can give you. He has this tenacity. He tends to carry his team along when he's playing, right? Although not Premier League proven, but we know what he can give. Cole Palmer and Nkunku. So it means that Cole Palmer will have to be moving the ball to his left foot before he puts in a cross. Nkunku, the same thing, has to move the ball to his right foot before he's putting in a cross. So all of these factors, right, has to come into perspective as well. So for me, top six would not be a bad shout if everybody in this team decide to stay fit for, I'm not saying the whole season, for at least 70% of the season. Because
Okay.
if you don't have James and Gusto is deputizing, who's the left back they've got? Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo. We saw what both of them did last season. It's not like they were formidable, So there's always a gap in there. Tosin and Cowell, I don't know about that one so much. You know, they could actually throw in a Fofana or throw in a Disasi, who in my opinion I don't trust as well, right? But he does a fine job for them. So, and the leader is out of the team. We should not forget that Thiago Silva is out of that team. He was more
Mm.
like a glue for them last season, right? So now there was the word, the leadership in that back line will be tested now. Who's going to stand up, who's going to take that mantle to be the leader from the back line? Because whilst we know there's a captain in every team, we also know that there's a leader in every department of the pitch, the defense,
Fact.
the midfield, and the attack, right? there's that person that, so everybody looks okay in my department. This is who I'm looking at in my department. So the leaders, they need to get leader. James might be the one to galvanize them, but we all know James is an injury away from vacation. So I'm not dissing him. It's just what has happened over time, and it won't be far fetched. I won't be saying anything out of the usual if I say I don't expect him to complete at least 70% of Chelsea's game in the next season. I won't be wrong if I'm to say that. So it is what it is, bro.
Now, this is what Ten Hag said about when he was asked about the injury crisis already. It says we have a plan and we will stick to the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Injuries are not avoidable. We have to be ready as a club and as a team to cover this. Euro, Hoyland, all players are dealing well with the setback. It was making an interview with I think the Guardian. So now the thing is now like for me, I want to see what Ten Hag and wants to bring to this team. I don't want them to have injury, man. So that when I banter Ten Hag, I scream Ten Hag out, I will be on a legal ground because
Man
last
say
season
we'll
when
be
I
on the
was
legal ground.
yes now, so if I'm last season I was screaming Ten Hag out. They were telling me injury, injury, injury. I could not say anything, but I don't want any. I want everybody fit. That's why I want them to bring in what's his name,
The
Matthias
late.
Delete. Honestly, I want that deal to just go through, man. Because I want to see if Ten Hag was balling really at Ajax, or that was Ajax playing the Ajax way. Then Ten Hag just came in, continued with the same thing. And by the way,
For spoilers, Ajax have not been the same since Ten Hag left.
No,
Whether you
I'm
like
going to
it or
ah
not.
I'm going
yeah,
I'm going to even tell Banks now. Before Ten Hag got there, Ayers were on a yo-yo.
Exactly. So what you need,
Ayers was
what you
so
need,
I yeah.
what I just think you need for every manager,
mm,
whether you are Ancelotti, Sir Alex Ferguson, is just a good structure. A good
Yeah.
mhm,
structure, and the right players that you need. See, I keep on saying this. Alex Ferguson did not go for Galacticos before he became successful over time. He didn't go for
mhm,
Galacticos. If you look at Carlo Ancelotti, even in his AC Milan days, he didn't really go for. There were players that were pretty average. Yes, he had the likes of Maldini, world class, Cafu, world class. He had the likes of Rio Costa, world class, Seedorf, world class. He had Ronaldinho, world class. I mentioned
Kaka.
Dida and Post, world class. Uh,
It's
why are
crazy,
you
man.
shaking your head?
Kaka
I'm
have,
just giving you. I'm just giving
Kaka
you.
have managed players, man.
So
Ancelotti have
he
managed some
had the
great
likes of
players.
these players that are world class, but they were pretty average, still average players. Then Nesta also world class, really good. But Gattuso, yes, I might not put him in that world class category, but it's a player between the average and the world class. But when you look
Mhm,
at these players, it is not by having them in your team. It is by using them effectively in those areas, and that is what matters most. Ten Hag will do well, and this is why I said he will do well this time around because the soil for him in Manchester United is fertile. Is fertile. If you look at the way United are going through the transfers, they have three players as target in each area that they want to prioritize, and
mhm,
that has been working very very fantastically well for them. They need a right back, they need a left back, but they know who and who they are going for. The only thing that is holding United back, and I will say it again, is money. Money is the
mhm.
only thing that is holding them back. And they have to sell because some of the players in United, like the likes of Maguire, the likes of
What
Rashford,
McTominay?
most of them, when they sign them, and let me say, and let me say this thing, because to be frank, I weep with what the last chief executive, what's his name, did at United. When you sign a player, you add him as equity in the club. Is that a good business idea? And that is why you see the likes of Maguire. Last season, they asked him, Baba, leave the club. He knows that he has close to £200,000. Oh God, you don't understand. See, football is, see the way these guys. Should I continue?
Yeah, continue,
Continue.
continue.
No,
No, we know
you laugh.
we
The way this
understand what you are saying,
no
bro.
no
We
it's
understand what you are
laughable. The way
saying.
these guys operate. That's why you need a footballing person to run football. You don't need some some investment banker to come and be running football. It's shit. A footballing person should be able to run football 247, 7 days a week, twice on Sunday. They should be able to run football effectively well.
True.
But this is what it is just laughable to see how the club was manhandled over time. We see the same thing in Barcelona as well. When Calderon was there, mismanagement left, right, center. They even gave Messi one kind of contract that when you look at it, you just sit down and say, this is where is this one
Even
come?
Frank de Jong is earning 700,000.
You can
Frank de
imagine.
Jong,
You can imagine
700,000.
700,000
Frank de
pounds a
Jong.
week.
Frank de Jong with Frank de Jong and Lewandowski, the money they earn in a year is 71 million euros.
So
And
where is
Real
it,
Madrid,
where is the
Mbappe-
club? Where is the club going to? Where do you take this club?
Saudi Arabia.
Yes, where is the club going to financially? That is why I keep on saying club should be financially run. It's very important because if we continue like this, you will not hear the likes of Madrid again if they are not financially, if they are not well run. You will not hear the likes of Man United. You will not hear the likes
Yeah,
of
true.
it's other new clubs that I'll be hearing about. So I think for me, if we just look at the whole picture, in terms of United, I think the future is bright. The only thing is that it's a step at a time. Nobody should put pressure on the club. It's a season at a time. If United finish second, then get if they finish second this new season we are going into the next 16 days, I tell you that the following season United will win the league. There's nothing stopping them from winning the league
That would be
if
nice,
they finish
man.
second. Because what they would do, even without the Champions League, they can still attract good players. Because they are one of the biggest clubs in the world. Take it or leave it. Then with the Champions
No,
League,
always.
with the Champions League, then tell me what player won't they attack? Because the project currently in United is good. The players coming in can see them. They can hear from the horse's mouth, the likes of Dan Ashworth, even from Van Nistelrooy, who convinced the young Arsenal lad to join United as well. They can see it. Players can see it. They can see that project in their front, in their face. So I think the soil is good. So Mr. Banter, if you want to banter from 16th of August till the 17th of May, enjoy yourself and let's see how far you will go.
I'll be there. I think Man U are also submitting another bid for these guys, but I see they're submitting it combined now. And it's coming from ESPN. It says Manchester United have submitted an offer to Bayern Munich for Manchester and Mazuri.
Yeah.
A source from ESPN. Now, I think it's in the region of 55 million.
Okay, now, when I talked about this thing in the morning today, I think there was no fee attached to it because I think
there was no fee.
There was no fee attached to it. So, if you look at 55 million pounds, let's look at 55 million pounds. I take 15 million pounds for Mazarawi. What is left in that money, guys?
40.
It's a fair deal. It's a fair deal.
This amount is a fair deal for sure.
It's a fair deal.
And that was what Dress was saying earlier now. Because
it's a fair deal.
They want... Yeah, it's a fair deal. Because if they go for Mazuri only, they will want around 15, 20. But the way they've combined it now makes everything. I just hope they just take the deal because
it's said to be rejected by Bayern. Bayern wants 60 million pounds for those two players.
Bayern wants 60 million pounds for both players. So they are like 5 million away because 55 million euros, like 55 million pounds is actually 64.5 million euros.
Exactly.
So Bayern are looking at a 70 million thereabout.
Bayern, don't be greedy.
No, which cannot. Yeah, it's what they're looking for. 70
I'm telling
million,
you, Bayern,
which is
don't
about
be greedy.
59. Which is
€60.
about.
So let me ask this question, please, guys. How much are they paying for Jonathan? How much are they paying for Jonathan Tah?
Jonathan Tah is reported, I think, like 34 thereabout.
You can imagine.
34.
You can imagine.
Why will not go by Tah now?
They are paying. Tah is here. It's 25 million.
25
Okay,
million
you
euros.
see plus
So
5.
you can see
yes.
Tah
25 plus
only
5.
want Bayern, and that is why United can't talk to them.
And this guy, Delete already said he wants United. So there's a deal to be done there.
No, there's a
Bayern
deal.
Bayern
There's a
wants
deal.
60 for both players. United wants to pay 55, including of add-ons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
55 million. So so that's like I said, a 5-6 million
Gap.
evaluation gap there,
Yeah.
right? Which can be fine-tuned. These guys are businessmen. They can fine-tune it real quick
No, they
and
will.
get to
Honestly, right?
um
If
go
sorry,
ahead,
if
Tish.
Bayern 160, you put like two extra £2 million there. Give them
Yeah.
Mm.
lock up.
I think somebody wants to go on vacation, so he needs that money.
I for lock up.
Yeah,
Say free and lock up.
Oh my goodness.
And by the way,
Football is
guys,
crazy.
please,
Football
man, as I
football
watch
money
it,
is,
please
is
click, click,
crazy.
click, click. Man, and Drex, I saw you guys move from 225 to 283. I was so
Yeah.
happy, man.
yeah.
Honestly,
I think it
guys,
was
please
the
let's subscribe, man.
it was what they call the game Drex we did, right? Is that the United game?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
the
United.
for versus Rangers. Sorry, versus Liberties.
Liberties, yeah.
Oh, you guys
I
did
don't really know
a
which to do
live.
watch
You
along.
guys did a live show, or a live a watch
Watch along.
along for
Yeah.
Rebetis.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it's good.
Wow.
It's good to be frank. I can't do a live this thing, a live
I know
Stream.
you
a
are
watch
scared of it,
along,
man.
and there
It's
are a lot of
easy.
reasons why I can't do a watch along. Many too much too much reasons why I can't do a watch along. But I just prefer doing my transfer and
No, it's
taking
good.
doing the podcast every day. I think I have one on now. Transfer is live, always live by 12 10 12:10 UK time because I'm in the UK. The
That
same
is
thing as
it.
Nigeria as well. Then
That's the link there.
I upload.
Link.
I also upload my.
Oh,
I
fancy
upload the
football.
podcast. But yeah, I upload the podcast by 12. No, by 5 p.m. in the evening with Nonso Arinzechi. So for the
Mm.
podcast, I think maybe I'll have one of these days if you're not busy. So to come and to come in on the post. It's just a 15 minutes recording. Then I just upload. No, I think it's unfiltered. That podcast is unfiltered.
No,
What you say is what will come out for
it's
the
fine.
podcast.
It's fine.
Don't worry.
But and for the podcast, the way it goes is that we just pick a player. I think today we did that for
Merino.
Mikel Moreno. Yes, Mikel Moreno was the player today, and what would he bring to Arsenal? What would he give to Arsenal? And I think it's just as simple as that. For 15 minutes and it's gone. But the season for the season, the plan for season for fantasy football is top notch. We as usual we have our prediction show, 14 minutes long weekly prediction show that will come up. Then we have our reaction show. Then we have our weekly weekend preview, preview and review after all the matches. Then we do a Thursday again, just like that, back to back. But no live programs. I don't think we'll have live programs during the season. Maybe on Monday we'll do live programs in the morning because of the season review, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about everything that's happened in the weekend. So it's a whole lot is happening in the world of football, and for me, I
Wow.
think it's the best niche you can have if you're a football psycho fan.
Yes, I agree.
Psycho fan, a football psycho fan, not a club psycho fan, please. A football psycho fan. So that's the niche you should have, and it's been
Yeah.
wonderfully going well for me. It's just that okay, like for the past 1 week I was off the radar, and Banks knows about it because I was moving to a new place, so I needed to rearrange myself and rearrange where I want to
And
stream
I can
stream
see
from.
you have really
Yeah.
rearranged yourself. I can see the
I've
setup
not
now.
finished yet. I've not finished yet. Don't worry. I've not
I
finished.
can
I'm
see the
just
setup
starting.
now. The HubSpot. What do you guys have coming up, man?
Test. Okay. Every Thursday, we normally do once the season kicks off. Now, every Thursday, we have a show called Possible Outcome where we go over each game in the Premier League, right? And we give you our own view of what we think would happen. So it's not it's we go beyond the win, draw, lose thing. We go
Yeah.
into maybe a player that would get a brace. We go into a player maybe look at the game
Honors.
corner kicks and tell you, okay, it's just a different feel onto the win draw lose situation. So if like for example last season, I was fortunate to follow Brentford, and I noticed that every game that they played last season By I think by 5 games, they were always on the score sheet. They always got on the score sheet, right? So it's all of those. So for people that like FPL, people that like those kind of things, right?
Are you doing FPL?
Yeah, we have a community group for FPL.
Yeah, you can send you go send it to me,
I'll
man. You can
I'll
send it to
send it
me.
to you. Maybe I might even put it in the chat right now. So for those people that have FPL, for we don't we with strict there's a strict disclaimer. Don't come. What we say is for entertainment purpose. Is just so that people can maybe when whilst they're watching the game, like okay, Drex and Tej, J-Hub Sports says this was gonna happen. They might just be like looking out for this thing. And most of the
Yeah.
time last season, on an average, we were on the 75% rate, right? So on an average, right? Because we didn't really start the minute the season kicked off. We started, I think it was, I think maybe somewhere around game
They're
15 or
probably
game
around
20, something like
mid
March the 20th.
season.
Yeah, mid season. So, but now we're gonna hit it full time. We also have the week that comes up every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we don't really do. Last season we didn't really do much review because of schedules and all of that. Time test was maybe, but this season we will be doing a reaction to most of the games, and also we have two brand new shows coming. I just started one already where I do the rounds it's a recorded 15-20 minutes recorded thing. I just go around the world of football and just see what's happening and just put it up there. And but Tesh is going to be covering most of the what's me calling it Tesh, what's that thing, FC25 once it kicks off,
So
because
I'll probably just because I did it last time when the FC24 came through. Probably go through the initial wrap up period, right? It's also again I do it right just for fun. So again, to if viewers want to
yeah,
get
it's just
engaged,
for fun, just for
it's fun,
fun.
right? And
Then we will be,
it's easy, right? And just
then like I said, there's a brand new show that will be coming up once the season. I think 5 game. Tess, is it 5 game or three, or once the season starts? I think there's a brand new show that'll be coming. Maybe
yeah,
5 game after the season, has kicked off. One everybody, not just only the Premier League, the La Liga, Serie A,
Very good.
yeah.
Bundesliga.
That's
Yeah. So
very, very, very good.
so when
Just
everybody
very.
when everybody
That's
has
spot
kicked
on.
off,
That's spot on. To be frank,
there's gonna be a
because
show that we'll do
you still need
for
to
that
look
one.
at the other leagues as well. I think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that show. Yeah, very, very
There's
Yeah,
important.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And
Well,
I
I have
think
one also like that. I call it a Europe top six. I think I just narrow it down to the top six because it's European football is so
so fast, man.
it's
a
so
lot of that.
vast. To be frank, if you have to look at, but the top six is there for or top five. Sorry. So, but I think these are shows wonderfully if we can be much more consistent. We can always have it and share out content to people. The
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oyimbos have taken over that space, but we want to take over the space too. So we want to dominate the space as well. So we have
No,
to.
and
this way we are doing it is the
it's
best
what
way
it called
because that's what they do.
it's you have to be innovative, right? In
Yeah, yeah,
what you do, you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
stand out, right? So again, and I think for me, there's more so it's I love talking about football. More so like we see how we have this discussion, right? To me, I can stay here all day, right? As long as it's a
Mhm.
fair conversation, everyone has their views, it's good. Also,
Okay,
Drex will add.
talking about outside being a sport journalist, I just want to let me just bring this thing to our preview that if we as we are going into this, we should know how YouTube operates very very well. I'm also a social media enthusiast. I worked as a web developer for 15 years.
Hmm.
And a social media expert for 15 years as well before I came to the UK last year. And this is it. The way YouTube operates is that it's about
Mhm.
titling
Thumbnail.
and thumbnails. We have to get those things right very very well. I don't want us to start when we put up a show. Don't give out everything.
Mm.
Don't give out everything you want to talk about. Just give a pinch of it. Then a pinch of it. The most important part of it, you should give it out that will attract people to come to your channel. Don't give out everything. Do the other nitty gritty behind it. Add your tags, add everything. Then just project yourself, project project the show with clean, clear image and we should have one style, just have one style of thumbnails all through for every how will I even put it, for every playlist, have one style of thumbnail, and you see how it will go. You see how it will
All
go.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
All
Sorry,
right,
just to
guys,
add
man.
Banks,
Okay.
just to add, we also do all the watch alongs, United, Tottenham,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
sometimes we'll
yeah,
do
yeah.
what it calls,
Yeah,
we'll
we
do,
do. But this season we're going to be doing Tottenham, because my boy will be moving to Fulham. I might, I might, but I don't think. But Tottenham for sure. Yeah, Chelsea, because if I do have some Chelsea, because I'm looking, like you said, Phil, right? I'm looking to, I'm not looking for. I'm looking at every mark, everybody, right?
Yeah.
Nigeria, South Africa, everybody, right? So I'm looking to. It's not. The reason why Tesh and I came up with D Hub Sport is because it's a hub for every fan, right? So you
Yeah.
could just, any fan could come in. Like the other day, we were doing a show, and a guy from, was it Singapore, somewhere like that. I said, oh, that we're asking what along do you want us to do, and the man was like, oh, we should do Man City and West Ham. I'm like, okay. When that time came, right? I think we couldn't do it because United were playing at the same time. So it just everybody to be inclusive, but everybody that
Mhm.
knows Tess and I knows that, yo, these guys they are born bred. And funny
Mhm.
enough, my father is actually an Arsenal fan.
yeah, most Nigerian older parents are Arsenal fan.
So
Kano
Yeah, that's true,
for
though.
and the rest. Yeah, yeah.
That's true, though.
David
So,
Moyes here is saying Carvajal is truly deserving man of the match in Champions League. He won 4 trophy and was keen all of them. Yeah, David, a lot of us have actually echoed this, but the fact that he's a right back, right? It's gonna be
yeah.
a challenge for him. But if he gets it, bro, man, if he gets it, I would be one of those fans that would be so excited that we definitely
Yeah.
broke out from the regular norm in terms of the strikers, the wingers that name. When was the last time somebody from the striking department won this? I think, can't, if not, wait, Cabajal, who else? Caballo, no, Cannavaro, who else has won
And
it
God, it's only Cavani and Cavalla. Those are
from
the
the
two I
from?
know of.
So if he wins it, bro, I'll be excited, bro.
It will be nice, man. It
I
will be
think I
nice.
agree. I agree with you. I don't know. I was watching one of you guys' video. Okay, the watch along. I think I need one of these guys for my show. Actually, if I can get one of them, I don't know where they are.
Who?
Which one?
This guy is on the watch along on the hub spot
We
Which
just
one?
tell me the
Tottenham.
person. I'll be able
for
to
the
link.
watch along. What's
Is
his
it
name?
Mark?
Let me see if I can get his name back.
Is
Hold
it
on.
Mark?
Mickey Robbie.
Oh, Mick. Oh, Mick
Robbie.
Ruby.
Yeah.
Ruby. Okay. I would have to talk to Ruby and see if he can. I would have to chat Ruby up and see if yeah. Ruby barely goes to people's channel, right? Banks, maybe you want to wrap up the show so we could talk at the backstage.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one, man. On Transfer Talk tomorrow morning, guys. Thanks for watching. Please do not forget the links are there. Please subscribe to every MANDEM channel, please. The Hub and Fancy Football, please. You know how we do it. Let's go and show them some love. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Thanks for watching, people. Good night.